What is going on, my Houston Texans family? The Texans are wasting no time with their interviews. They just started their second round. Today, we will be talking about defensive coordinator Evero from the Denver Broncos. Later on during the day or tomorrow, we will be talking about the offense coordinator from the Giants, Mike Kafka. And as we all know, D'Amico Ryans, Shane Steichen, Jonathan Gannon, they cannot interview until next week at the earliest Monday just because they had advanced in the playoffs. So, in the meantime, right, there is a lot of stuff to think about and be excited about for the next week and a half. But when you're talking about DC Ejiro, man, there is a lot to love. But before we get into him, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at 713HSP. And guys, shout out to my fellow Houston, Texas content creators. The Denver Broncos defense was damn good this year, despite absolutely nothing coming from Russell Wilson, the Broncos offense, and, head coach Nathaniel Hackett, who was fired. They were just an absolute, crap show. But the bright spot of Denver was the defense, and that even though they traded away Bradley Chubb, Randy Gregory missed some time, Justin Simmons was banged up for a couple weeks, they were still one of the best defenses in the NFL, number 7 in the red zone, 3rd in the league against and on third down. So just absolutely fantastic. Only 4 100-yard rushers against the Denver Broncos this season, and 2 of them were Josh Jacobs. If you're a Houston Texans fan, that automatically jumps out because damn near everyone was having a career day against the Houston Texans, this season. Patrick Surtain, one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL, second-year guy, just raves about Ejiro. Says he could talk about him for hours. The energy, if you watch the mic'd up with the Denver Broncos, he's very key on communication and understanding what you need to do on the defense. And when you look at his resume, man, it's really surprising and interesting because it's on both sides of the ball, right? And from 2017 to 2021, right before the Denver Broncos, DC job, he spends it with the Rams as a safeties coach and a passing game coordinator in 2021. As we all know, the Rams won the Super Bowl last year. And with that secondary, coaches Jalen Ramsey, coaches Marcus Peters, coaches Eric Weddle, very high caliber players right there, and goes to the Green Bay Packers in 2016 as a defensive quality coach. And this is where it gets interesting because right before the Packers, from 2011 to 2015, he spent it with the San Francisco 49ers. That is where he met Vic Fangio. That is where he met Jim Harbaugh. And this is where he goes. From 2011, quality control coach. From 2012 to 2013, offensive assistant. And from 2014 to 2015, defensive assistant. Evero has experience on both sides of the ball, right, and spent time with 2 great offensive-minded coaches. Not Shanahan, but was with Harbaugh at the time, and then last year spent it with Sean McVay. And then you talk about that, that Vic Fangio defense, that 3-4 base package, and you're thinking about the Houston Texans and saying, well, this might be a dark horse candidate for the Houston Texans. And you heard Patrick Storm and Cody Stoops talk about the Mike Tomlin, esque here. Because our candidates are D'Amico Ryans, Shane Steichen, Jonathan Gannon. Those are our favorites, however. What if they go in and get blown away by Evero? We know that in every single interview he has had so far, he has absolutely crushed it. And, you're only doing yourself a favor by bringing in these top quality candidate coaches. And it is only going to make you better in the long run for the Houston Texans. I think Evero will be a solid pick. If they decide to get him, it will be kind of a letdown from D'Amico Ryans or Shane Steichen or Jonathan Gannon, right? Because these are the names that, we've been told are the favorites, but there's always a surprise, and there's always someone who could come out of nowhere and just surprise you. And maybe that is defensive coordinator Evero from the Denver Broncos. However, you guys let me know what you think. As always, go Texans. You have a very blessed day.